So what is up, guys and girls? I am Mr. E from NYC, and if you are new to the channel, I want to welcome you. I am rocking a Spark CycleWorks Javelin. If you are interested in a Spark CycleWorks Javelin or the Brute, I have a coupon code that'll save you $100 off the purchase of your Spark CycleWorks Javelin or Brute. It is Mr. E from NYC. So it has been a few months since I visited Spark CycleWorks. And the last time that I visited, I picked up a Javelin. And when I went to pick up that Javelin, Matt discussed with me everything that was involved in putting the frame together. That's right, putting the frame together. So this Spark CycleWorks Javelin is built right here, made in the USA. Hey Matt, I hear there's something new.
Yeah, we got a lot of things that are new. But I think the big thing for us is all these new things are being made here in the United States. Something that we've been trying to work on as a company for a very long time. Just because being able to say something is made in the USA is a lot easier than most people think. Most people think to be qualified as being made in the USA means everything on that product needs to be made in the USA, but that's not really how the laws are written. And so even for us, like the Bandit frame, the frame itself isn't made here in the country, but the other parts that we put onto it and our labor and everything allow it to be called made in the USA. What that means for us is we want to actually make the frames here, and you guys have been following us for long enough, you know about the Javelin. And so I think the newest thing is the Javelin. So you're lucky today because we just got a shipment in from our guys at Send Cut Send, big old crate of laser cut pieces. And in that crate should be enough to build another 4 Javelins. And so I'll pull that stuff out and I'll show you what things look like. We also got some frames from the powder coater, so we can talk about powder coating and all the different paint options. And maybe while we're at it, I'll kind of give you a preview of how this thing is coming together. So we get our frames from Send Cut Send. Shout out to Send Cut Send, these guys are great. And yeah, this box probably has enough to make, I think it's either 5 or 6 frames, I don't remember, maybe 4 frames. But everything to build the bikes come in these boxes. Hold on. All right, that was,
say everything is in that little.
It's still packed down pretty far, right? So that's what's really cool about this whole thing is we're almost more like a printing press than a bike shop. It's weird because, you know, you could fit 50 Javelin frames in like a stack this tall and store them like that. So our storage inventory is nothing. And then as the orders come through, I'll show you how to go together. Like you just put a series of bolts through and then we weld them up and then you go from there. So our actual inventory stays so small. It's really one of the biggest reasons why we can even make this here. The other thing that's really cool about this, just in the past 2 times we brought stuff to our welder, by the way, our welder's 5 minutes down the road, it's amazing. What's really great is, you know, I'll work on a design, I bring it there, and then the next time I see them, they're like, hey, this is fine, but this one area, can you make this one piece a little bit shorter or a little bit longer? And I can just quickly go into CAD and adjust these things. If this was like a tubular frame, that would be almost impossible to do that quickly. But, you know, in between shipments, I can just change stuff. So the standard flow that will happen is we'll be getting in parts from our laser cutter. And then that day or the day after, they will be bolted together and then they will be transported to our welder right down the road. When they transport to the welder, they will also pick up welded frames from the week before, and then they will bring those to our powder coater, who is 5 minutes down the road in the other direction. When they're at the powder coater dropping off the welded frames, they will then pick up the painted frames from the week before. So we'll just kind of get into this rhythm of this whole thing moving around, right?
With everything that's going on here.
Yeah.
Do you need help?
Do I need help? we're definitely going to need help. To start off, it's a small operation. You know, we have no idea what's going to happen with the bike. It may be like a success in terms of people like it, people think it's cool, but maybe the sales aren't quite there. It may go crazy, but my goal, if we could be doing 3 to 5 a week, just 3 to 5 a week, Spark would be doing great. And we would be able to keep our team small, which has been a really big goal of mine. I don't want Spark to become like a 50-person company. I want Spark to remain a 10-person company, maybe 15 if we were crazy, but 10 is fine. And just let us be small and concentrate on making a high-quality product. That's the goal. But you know, if we're doing 3 to 5 a week, we also got to keep in mind that we're building the other bikes too. So maybe we're doing 3 to 5 of those. So now we're doing 10 a week total. And yeah, I could see springtime into summer us having to hire a few more people for sure. But it's definitely going to be a lot of, I hate to use this term, but like bootstrapping as we go along. You know, we've put a lot of money into developing JAVELIN, and a lot of time, like thousands of hours. So we're not really in a place where we can just go out and hire a bunch of people. But if it succeeds, absolutely. Yeah, I'd love that. That'd be great.
So what's in the box, man?
Let's see. You know, we have so many orders coming all the time. It's like I don't even know. It should be the cross pieces. And if Sen does it, they always add some candy in here. Yeah, they did.
I'll take one.
Okay.
I'll take one.
There you go. Quick one. So there is one bend that we do. We have a brake, a press brake that allows us to do it. There's this line right there. We put about a 3-degree bend. I'm not going to do that right now because I have to set that up to do it accurately. It needs to be perfect or else it doesn't work. But I can still show you how the bike gets bolted together. So let me take 2 of these. All right, so if I look over on this side right here, you can see these are all of our bolts that we use to put the frames together. Before I get into this, one thing that's going to be very cool is we do plan on selling this as a kit, and it will be sold as a kit to high schools and to colleges. And those different schools will be able to either buy a welded together frame already and paint it themselves and do the electronics, or they will be able to buy it like a model airplane kit and do this process themselves. So when I was designing this frame, I had to make sure that almost anybody could put this thing together. And that's why we went with this system of bolts. So the bolts allow the frame to be perfectly aligned, and then you just weld. And then when you're done welding, you undo the bolts and you go ahead. So it's really fun. This thing is surprisingly fun to put together. Trying to do this in a way so you can see it. I'll have to do it. Let me do it this way instead.
Are these reusable?
Yes. So they're plain steel. They're not like coated or anything. And then I'll show you, everything gets held together by wing nuts, so you can quickly remove them. All right, so laser cut pieces all have a spot that they start their cut and where they end that cut. So if I look right here, you can see if I run my finger across it, there's that little line right there.
Point to it?
This line?
Yes.
So they all have a starting and ending point. This piece started in a bad spot. And the reason that it's bad is because if this is up against a frame, that will create a little bit of a raised area. So we need to go through every component and just and just hit that. A little bit, that's enough. That's all you need to do. So we kind of have to go through, and so every piece of this, you know, there will be somebody that does this at Spark, and everything has to be audited that way. But not a big deal. You know, it's 2 seconds.
Wow, almost there.
Yes, so this one takes the whole force of that rear swing arm.
That's amazing.
Pretty cool.
And this was all you, right?
Yeah. That's one thing that's kind of crazy when you look at it is, you know, every single component has to be designed. So it's a lot. It's a lot. Everything's gone through generations too, so yeah, I try not to think about how many hours are put into this stuff.
That's insane.
Isn't that cool? God, I've been wrong way.
So the hard part is going to be getting that
Top piece on.
half on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a little finicky, but
you've done it.
I've done it a few times. It's not going to be very beautiful and glamorous. Trust me, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. It is fun though. So then what we would do is we'd take these wing nuts. We sell it as a kit. It will come with all the bolts to do it, right? So if you want to do it yourself, you know, if you know how to weld, you might want to do your own thing. I'm not going to go through the whole frame because I do have to take it apart to do that bend. Okay. But you can kind of see, right, 100%. how this all goes together. And then the welder just goes along, zip, 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 zip. Goes through that whole bike. It's pretty wild, you know, you get it in and within 10 minutes you can have a whole frame put together. That's kind of insane. And we're finding the welder is telling me it's about a half hour to weld each frame. So that was a deep dive into the Javelin. We hope you guys liked it. If you have more questions, you can leave comments down below. I'm sure Mr. E is going to come back out here, but you know, we hope you guys like the design. We want to see these bikes out on the road, so make sure to share the bike. Go to our website, check it out. Check out the Brute. We hope you guys are excited for that one too. And you know what? If you're in the area, Spark is an open shop. We love talking about these things, so make sure to come by the facility. We'll show you guys around.
All right, so there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed an in-depth explanation as to how the Javelin is built. And most importantly, it is built here. So I am out of time. I'm on my way to work. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate. Smash the like button. Leave a comment. I get back to everybody. And if you want to, please subscribe. So until the next video, peace out, everybody.
You want to take a look at some paint? It's kind of hard to see in this light, but this is a high gloss black and it has a metallic flake in it. This bike looks awesome in the light. That is a standard color, so that is a base color. This is another base color. It is a gray, and if you look up close, you can see it has that same metallic in it. Right over here is a swing arm. And you can really see the sparkles in this one, but there's something really special about this, and it's our decision to make all swing arms black. So every bike, regardless of what color the main frame is, will have a black swing arm. And the reason really comes down to our production and the efficiency and the way we build these things. Making this a single black color across all frame colors, like, almost took a week out of production. So it really made things a lot easier and allowed us to do some cool things. So yeah, these two are base. Then there will be 2 levels above those colors. The first level is kind of just like a standard glossy, sparkly colored one, but a variety of different colors. So all these different reds and blues and things like that. There'll be a small charge for that. And then there will be a 3rd tier, which are all these really amazing like color changing powders. And we have a couple of those that I can show you. The price differences won't be too crazy, but it's mostly comes down to the lead time. So, you know, we want to keep production lead time, things like that, to about 2 weeks, maybe 3 at worst. But adding a special color adds a lot of time because we have to order those paints and go from there. But you want to see some of these cool colors?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. So this is one of our favorites. It is just like a ruby. They call it illusion ruby, but depending on the light, it looks beautiful. It's like this kind of dark red, almost a black in certain lights, to a lighter bright red. But you can kind of see how this this combination is going to look. You know, I think with side panels and everything else on there, that's going to look pretty special. And then this one to the side of it, probably going to be kind of hard to catch with your camera. Might be able to bring it over here near the window. But this is called Peacock. And
when the light hits it,
yeah, I don't know if I turn this, if it's doing anything for you.
I think I should. You know what? Right there. Hold it right there.
Yeah.
Hold it right there. That looks good.
Yeah, it's pretty dark in here. But this goes from green to blue to purple, depending on the light. And, you know, actually certain angles kind of black as well.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. Our powder coater's doing an awesome job. But these are only a couple options. You want to see how many options we'll have? Okay. So in theory, we basically should be able to do all of these. You know, we'll have those 2 base colors, which will be the fastest lead times. But, you know, it may take us a while to add all of these colors to the website. We'll probably start by adding maybe 10 of the tier 2 and then 10 of like the tier 3. So a total of, you know, between 20 and 30 colors you're looking at, which is pretty unheard of. Because keep in mind, you got 20 to 30 colors for the frame, and then you'll have 10, 15 different options for side panels. And then you'll have like 5 options for headlights and 5 options for handlebars. So it's going to be pretty rare to see any 2 Javelins that look the same, which I think is pretty exciting. While I'm over here, these just came in. They're not very exciting.
Depends on who you ask for.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're not very exciting to most people, but to me they are. So this is just a standard motorcycle headlight plug. And I know you're like, well, that's not very exciting, but show me another e-bike that uses a standard motorcycle headlight plug. None of them do this. I don't know why. It makes life really difficult. So we're gonna have this standard motorcycle headlight plug on the Javelin. So if you just buy a headlight off Amazon, you just plug it in. And it will have that little spare wire that comes off for the halo too. You've probably seen this. So yeah, just use easy parts.